ले रहे हो, बहुत बच्चे लेते हैं। अगर आपको ओपीपी के सब्जेक्ट में पता है क्या कुछ, ओपीपी क्या होते हैं या फिर सब कुछ?
OPP, I've heard about it, but I'm not sure.
All right. Students mainly scared from the OPP because they usually think that this is the toughest part of Python. Yeah, but don't worry, I'm gonna make that cake work for you. तो ये
Okay,
अपना वीक
sure.
वन। तो शुरू करते हैं वीक वन। तो
Okay.
पाइथन है। तो पाइथन जो था, पाइथन एक प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज है। तो इससे कई, आपको स्क्रीन दिख रही है ना अच्छे से? आई होप सो।
Yes, yes.
या ऑलराइट। तो पाइथन क्या है कि पाइथन एक आपका प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज है। और ये पाइथन जो था उसे बनाया गया था मेनली तो 1989 में। ये मेन सेंटर में आया, मतलब लोगों के बीच, पब्लिक के बीच आया। बट ये 1980 में ही बना लिया गया था। किनके द्वारा? गुडियो वैन रोसम के द्वारा। एक डच प्रोग्रामर थे। बट दीज इंफॉर्मेशन आर नॉट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर एग्जाम पर्पस, बट यू आउट टू नो एज अ पाइथन डेवलपर। या तो फर्स्ट पाइथन वाज क्रिएटेड बाय
Yeah.
गुडियो वैन रोसम। ही वाज अ डच प्रोग्रामर इन लेट 1980s. But at that time, he had not he had not launched that in public, and thereafter in 1980 he launched the Python code in public with little, with with by the changes, with making some changes that make Python a great language. Yeah, thereafter मतलब mainly ये है कि 1989 में उन्होंने किया पाइथन को लॉन्च। बनाया तो 80 में ही था, बट उसको बेहतर बनाते हुए in 1980 Python was at very nascent phase of it. Yeah. तो thereafter he did
Yeah.
developed Python, and at finally at 1989 उन्होंने किया उसको लॉन्च। ठीक है। अब अब कुछ चीजें, अब आप बोलोगे पाइथन है क्या, तो पाइथन एक कंप्यूटर लैंग्वेज है। वेट, लेट मी मसला। तो पाइथन जो है आपका, वो क्या है, एक कंप्यूटर लैंग्वेज है। कंप्यूटर लैंग्वेज क्या होता है तो भाई, computer language, like we both are humans, we do interact with our, by using our languages. That might be sign language, English, Hindi, German, anything. Yeah. But computer, literally computer are very dumb machine. You can't interact with them like we do with humans. So computer languages are a way to interact with computers. You give them instruction like do this, do that, and they do for you. एक्चुअली होता क्या है कि देखो, पाइथन, जावा, कई तरह की प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज है। इस इनका मेन एम ये है कि आप अपने सिस्टम से इंटरेक्ट करो, उन्हें इंटरेक्टेबल बनाओ, और जो आप करना चाहते हो, मतलब आपके जो भी काम है, जो भी आपके ऑर्डर कमांड है, उनको आप अपने कंप्यूटर तक पहुंचाओ। तो आपने देखा होगा बहुत
Yeah.
से कोड लिखाते हैं, प्रिंट, मतलब मैं अभी एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ, समझना है तो डोंट वरी, आगे हम वही पढ़ने वाले हैं। तो होता क्या है कि ये कंपाइल्ड होता है और इंटरप्रिटेटेड होता है। दो टाइप के होते हैं। अब आप बोलोगे कंपाइल्ड और इंटरप्रिटेटेड क्या होता है, बिल्कुल सही। तो मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दे के समझाता हूँ। हाँ, सपोज करो कोई आप कोई मतलब कोई बंदा है, उससे आप जर्मन में बात कर रहे हो, ठीक है, और ना उसको
Yeah.
इंग्लिश आती है, ना आपको जर्मन आती है। तो आप किसी मिडल मैन को रखोगे जिसे दोनों लैंग्वेजेस आती है। वो आपके लिए ट्रांसलेट करके उसको भी समझा देगा, फिर वो आपको भी समझा देगा। एंड कंपाइलर एंड इंटरप्रिटेटर आर समथिंग लाइक दैट। आप जो लिखते हो, जैसे आपने कंप्यूटर में कोई कोड लिखा, उसे कंप्यूटर तक पहुंचाना है। तो जो आपने लिखा कंप्यूटर उसे नहीं समझ सकता। तो कंपाइलर और इंटरप्रेटर जो होते हैं उसे बाइट कोड में चेंज करते हैं। बाइट कोड क्या है, मैं इसमें आऊंगा आगे। ठीक है। और फिर उसे कंप्यूटर तक
Mm.
पहुंचाते हैं। बस ऐसा समझ लो, कंपाइलर और इंटरप्रेटर दो तरीके हैं जिसके थ्रू आप कंप्यूटर से जो, मतलब जो कोड आप लिखते हो, वो कंप्यूटर समझता है। बस इतना फिलहाल के लिए समझ। ऑल राइट।
Yeah.
हेलो।
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So, 3 points I have covered it. One was Python was created by Gudio when Rosham in 1980s. At that time, Python was in at its very nascent phases. Thereafter, it further developed by him and finally launched in 1989. There, after I have told you what is computer language, how it interact, what is compiler, what is interpreter. These are the two ways through which our code
Mm.
become readable to the machine. Machine read our code. That's it. By the compilation and interpretation, uh, machine do read our code. Okay.
Okay.
And finally, the week one. These are the contents of week one. Intro to Python. Lecture one. Intro to Replit. Sorry, intro to Replit. More on replet print mistake that covered intro to variable and input statement, data type, one operator expression. Intro to that's all you can go through. Have you ever heard about replet or IDE?
Yes, I did. You have the recorded lecture. So I saw one of the lecture, the first lecture, and I tried to do the coding with Replit. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have used
that's
this now.
you know what is replet. Yeah, you have used replet right now, but you actually know what is replet.
Uh,
Look,
it's the place where we code. Yeah.
yeah, that might be easiest and most conveyable answer to give. Yeah, but the code concept is these are IDE, integrated development environment, where you have everything that you need to develop a program. Yeah, IDE me. Uh, market user IDE. All right. Integrated development environment. आ, तो देखो होता क्या है ना कि आप नोटपैड यूज करते हो whenever you have used notepad you may write code in notepad to आप notepad में भी कोड लिख सकते हो that's not a big deal बट फिर इशू आता है कि उसमें कई सारी चीजें आपको सपोर्ट सिस्टम नहीं मिलती फिर आप जाओगे उसे चलाओगे बट आईडी जो होता है उसके पास सब कुछ होता है ऐसा समझ लो आईडी जो है कंप्यूटर वर्ल्ड का ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म है जैसे आपका अमेजोन है फ्लिपकार्ट अमेजोन पे सारी चीजें मिल जाती हैं आपको बस ऐसा कुछ आईडी पे आपको हर वो चीज मिल जाती है जिससे आप अपनी कोड बहुत इजीली रन कर सको और ये बिगनर के लिए लिटरली वेरी बेनिफिशियल ठीक है तो रेपलेट भी एक तरह का आईडी आईडी कई तरह के होते हैं रेपलेट आपका ऑनलाइन आईडी है ठीक है ऑनलाइन मौजूद है आपको इसको इंस्टॉल नहीं करना कर सकते हो बट इट्स नॉट अ बिग डील एक वीएस कोड होता है क्योंकि प्रोग्रामर्स बहुत यूज करते हैं मैं पर्सनली बहुत यूज करता हूँ वीएस कोड को बहुत फेमस है वो भी आईडी होता है बट वो कंप्यूटर में इंस्टॉल करना पड़ता है बट फॉर नाउ उसकी जरूरत नहीं रेपलेट पे आते हैं तो सबसे पहला आपका है इंट्रो टू रेपलेट ठीक है तो आपको रेपलेट के बारे में पता है सब कुछ
Yes.
1 second wait 1 second just continue Google whether where do you
Mm. Yeah.
wait wait create REPL, and thereafter you have to choose in which language you want to create REPL like for Python, Node.js, C. These are the computer languages to PHP. Uh, like I wanna
Mm.
go with Python. This is the title. You may change this to yeah.
Yeah.
This one live lectures. All right. I create REPL. Now your REPL is about created. Thereafter, this is the place where you do your code. Yeah. You do
Yeah.
compile your code and see the output that code may give. Thereafter, there are something important that I would like to discuss. Suppose this is the file over here. You can make a new file. This is the folder section. And these are the three dots. If you are able to be, see, these are the three dots, and there is another option like wait for a second. I hidden files. No, let yeah. Uh, config file. This is the configuration file. Over here, you may mention which file you wanna compile or you wanna run or which file you wanna give output. Yeah, you use to give output. There is a entry point. Entry point is a point where you mention your file location. Like for now, our entry point is main.py. You may create another file like I wanna create v1 .py. .py at last is a extension to tell compiler that this is a Python language. So must use .py at last. Now we have created another file week1. To run this, we need to mention over here that run week1 file. So week1.py. That's all that you have to do. And thereafter, if you wanna do something like if you wanna do print, don't worry, I'm gonna explain. what is print to run, and you will finally get the output, your output. But what if I do the same process within main.py in this file? This file will not be executed because at entry point we have week1.py. Yeah. So let's run this. Oh, we don't have any output. There is blank. So to run the file, you must enter their location at entry point. Yeah, understood? I hope you are.
Mm.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
and thereafter, thereafter, I think till yet you understood what is Replit, what is its work. You may run your code from over here. Like this is the console. You might add other things too over here like docs explanation, but these are not very necessary for you, and not only for now. I think these are not you, these are not you do not have to use this instance, or I think these tools for your even up to your end return. These are not very usable for the students who are just comments the Python, so just ignore them for now. Yeah, there is AI and all. Yeah. So I think till yet I have introduced you with Replit. What is Replit? It is a type of IDE. It's independent integrated environment. Thereafter, more on Replit. Yeah, I have covered the instance like what is entry point and what are these. These are console. You may clear from over here. Like if you do run your program again and again, again and again, all these interfaces gonna filled by such results that you have run. So clear all this from here. Huh? Now we have clear interfaces. And thereafter print. What is print? What is mistake? Print is a method. Have you ever read about these instances like what is print or in recorded lecture? I'm just asking for sake
Um,
of your prior knowledge.
no, I haven't studied this before, but I started studying from this week, from the lecture
Yeah,
video. Yeah.
all right. Look, Python is a kind of, sorry, print is a kind of method. Yeah. If you wanna print something, you just use print. Like I wanna print your name, not your name. I wanna print like V1 Python started. Thereafter, if I do run, this is gonna execute very clearly. So these are the print is just like a method, or we can say print. Just suppose print is a person whom you assign some task to do, like go there, do this, and he will do for you. This is a rough example of I can say this is the rough instance of print, or I mean to say methods in Python. तो बात बस ऐसी है कि प्रिंट जो है आपका वो है पाइथन में एक मेथड। ठीक है। अब मेथड क्या होते हैं, फंक्शंस क्या होते हैं, ये हम आगे डिस्कस करेंगे। दैट्स नॉट अ बिग डील। प्रिंट आपके लिए प्रिंट कर देगा जो भी आप इसको बोलोगे। फॉर नाउ इतना समझ जाओ आप, दैट्स इनफ। तो आप सपोज करो मुझे आपको प्रिंट करके दिखाना है कुछ। एक सेकेंड। डबल कोट दिए, उसके अंदर हम कुछ डाल देते हैं। if we if we bound any character with these double quotes or single quotes too from both sides, that became a string. A string is a data type in Python that I'm gonna explain for the, and thereafter, wait, 1 2 3 4 5 6 yeah. If we execute this code, uh we got this output as it printed this. And thereafter, as per your lecture, sir explained something else too, like if we do it in opposite way, like this. 'है। मतलब आप कोई भी पैटर्न बना सकते हो, सॉरी, एक प्रिंट वगैरह का यूज करिए। तो बस यही था प्रिंट में कि आप प्रिंट में जैसे मैं कोई नंबर प्रिंट करना चाहूँ तो मैं नंबर प्रिंट कर सकता हूँ, 6 7 एनीथिंग। जब यहाँ ये नंबर प्रिंट हो गया, अब देखो अब ये इंटरफेस पूरी तरह से भर चुका है, तो हमें यहाँ से क्लियर कर लेना है इसको। तो फिर मैं इन सबको फिलहाल के लिए करता हूँ। देखो, कमेंट कमेंट क्या होता है, जैसे मैंने इसे लिया कंट्रोल और ये फॉरवर्ड स्लैश दबाया, ये वाला मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको। कंट्रोल प्लस ये फॉरवर्ड स्लैश, आप ये दबाओगे किसी के भी आगे में, किसी भी कोड के आगे में, तो वो हो जाएगा कमेंट। कमेंट कमेंट ऐसा कुछ हो जाएगा वो, ठीक है। तो जब वो कमेंट हो जाता है तो फिर वो कोड एग्जीक्यूट नहीं होता। आपका जो कंपाइलर होता है, इंटरप्रिटेटर होता है, वो उस कोड को मतलब आगे नहीं बढ़ाता, इंटर मतलब एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करता, ठीक है। तो ये था आपका कमेंट। अगर आपको एक लाइन कमेंट करना है तो उसके आगे में अगर आपको कंट्रोल और फॉरवर्ड स्लैश से नहीं करना है तो आप ये हैश भी दे सकते हो। अगर आपको मल्टीपल लाइंस कमेंट करने, कमेंट करना मतलब अब वो कोड रन नहीं होगा, सीधी सी बात। तो आप ये यूज कर सकते हो मल्टीपल लाइंस के लिए। खैर ये सब आगे वाली टॉपिक में पढ़ेंगे। आपको अब तक समझ आया क्या, मैंने जो भी बताया आपको?
Yeah, yes, yes.
That is great. Or then thereafter we're gonna discuss about what is intro to variable. Yeah, I'm gonna do. But prior to that, I think you how to know how actually Python code executed, how actually compiler works. Yeah. So for that, I'm gonna move on next slide. Yeah. Suppose for now, these are your source code that you have wrote. uh, that wanna you wanna execute, and finally as you anticipate to get output of that. So over here, the over here, this is your source code. Thereafter source code get into compiler. Compiler is like a program, or you can say like a function, or in short आप ये कह सकते हो कि कंपाइलर जो है वो एक मैनेजर है, जिसको आप कोड दोगे तो वो उसको बाइट कोड में कन्वर्ट कर देगा। अब बाइट कोड क्या होता है, तो देखो मैं आपको जनरली एग्जांपल से बताता हूँ। भाई वही मतलब ऐसा समझ लो, एक प्रोसेस्ड कोड है, कोड डाला मशीन में, मशीन ने बाहर निकाला बाइट कोड को। कंपाइलर समझ लो एक मशीन है, सोर्स कोड लिया उसने, उसने इन सब को लिया और उसने बाहर निकाला बाइट कोड को, ठीक है। उसने बाइट कोड को बाहर निकाला। अब ये इस बाइट कोड को पीवीएम, पाइथन वर्चुअल मशीन, इसी के अंदर मतलब जाएगा और ये फाइनली उसका आउटपुट दे देगा। इन शॉर्ट यही सीक्वेंस होता है। आपने कोड लिखा, कोड कंपाइलर में गया, इस पूरे को ये पूरा इंटरप्रिटेशन है पूरा। हाँ, इस पूरे को बोलते हैं। As you can observe, there is a big boundary of interpretation, and all these are inside मतलब interpretation program। thereafter आपकी सोर्स कोड गई कंपाइलर में, उसने किया उसे बाइट कोड में कन्वर्ट। फिर पाइथन वर्चुअल मशीन इज अ टाइप ऑफ मशीन दैट एक्चुअली एग्जीक्यूट योर कोड एंड गिव आउटपुट। तो इसने बाइट कोड को लिया, ये सिर्फ बाइट कोड को ले सकता है। हाँ, ये आपके सोर्स कोड को ले ही नहीं सकता, जनरल कोड को समझ ही नहीं सकता। तो ये बाइट कोड को लेगा, फाइनली आउटपुट देगा। इसमें देखते हैं, इसमें भी वही हो रहा है। हाउ इंटरप्रिटेटर वर्क, इंटरप्रिटेटर काम कैसे करता है, एडिटर है ये आपका, समझ लो ये रेपलेट है, आपने सोर्स फाइल है आपकी जिसमें आपने कोड लिखा। वो इंटरप्रिटेटर में गया, इंटरप्रिटेटर के अंदर क्या क्या हो रहा है, तो भाई इंटरप्रिटेटर के अंदर यहाँ मैंने आपको बताया था कंपाइलर। कंपाइलर ने अपने अंदर उस कोड को लिया, उसे बाइट कोड में कर दिया, फिर बाइट कोड को वर्चुअल मशीन लेगा और वो आउटपुट दे देगा। आपकी प्रोग्राम जो है रन हो जाएगी। लाइब्रेरी मॉड्यूल वगैरह हम आगे देख रहे होंगे, तो अभी टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं। देखो, अब लैंग्वेजेस जो है आपकी कंप्यूटर लैंग्वेजेस, उसे कई मेरे कहने का मतलब कई तरीकों में बांटा गया है। जैसे कंपाइल्ड, इंटरप्रिटेटेड, हैवली मेरे कहने का मतलब स्टैटिक टाइप है, हैवली लूज्ड, हैवली बाउंडेड, या फिर मैं ये कह सकता हूँ डायनेमिक टाइप। बट उतना ज्यादा नहीं जानना है, अभी आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे। फॉर नाउ आप समझो, दो टाइप की लैंग्वेजेस होती है जनरली, कंपाइल्ड, इंटरप्रिटेटेड। दो टाइप की लैंग्वेजेस होती है, मैं इसे पढ़ा कर लेता हूँ। लेट मी बोल्ड ऑन दिस। दो टाइप की लैंग्वेजेस होती है आपकी, कंपाइल्ड, इंटरप्रिटेटेड। कंपाइल्ड में क्या होता है, लैंग्वेज है आपकी जैसे सी, सी प्लस प्लस, गो, पाइथन, पास्कल, ये सर, उसमें आप कंपाइल करते हो, मशीन कोड को देते हो, बस वो चलने के लिए तैयार है। इंटरप्रिटेटेड में क्या होता है, अभी आपने देखा है यहाँ पे क्या होता है, पाइथन, जावा स्क्रिप्ट, ये सब आ गए इंटरप्रिटेटेड में। ये लैंग्वेज है, आपने लैंग्वेज को डाला, इंटरप्रिटेट किया, हाँ, इंटरप्रिटेट किया, उसे वर्चुअल मशीन में डाला, फिर वो मशीन कोड में कन्वर्ट होके मतलब चल गई, बस यही है। इंटरप्रिटेटेड जो होती है वो आपकी रेडी टू रन होती है, आप उसे डायरेक्ट एग्जीक्यूट कर लो लाइन बाय लाइन। इन शॉर्ट मैं भी बहुत रफ वर्ड का यूज करके समझाऊं, वो ये होगा बहुत जनरल वर्ड में वो ये हुआ कि इंटरप्रिटेटेड लैंग्वेज लाइन बाय लाइन एग्जीक्यूट होती है, पहला लाइन एग्जीक्यूट हुआ, दूसरा चला, तीसरा चला, चौथा चला, ऐसे। कंपाइल्ड वाला क्या होता है, देखो मैं बताता हूँ। ये जो होता है आपका इंटरप्रिटेटेड, इसमें क्या होता है, ये पहला लाइन चला, ये दूसरा चला, तीसरा चला, ऐसे 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 करके वन बाय वन चलेगा। कंपाइल्ड में पहले इन सबको बाइट कोड में कन्वर्ट किया जाएगा, फिर चलाया जाएगा, इन शॉर्ट। ठीक है। और यहाँ से क्वेश्चन अराइज होता है कि भाई, वेट, क्वेश्चन तो हम देख ही लेंगे। यहाँ भी वही दे रखा है कि कैसे वर्क करता है भाई, आपका सोर्स कोड पाइथन कैसे वर्क करता है वो दे रखा है। कंपाइलर में गया, बाइट कोड में कन्वर्ट हुआ, वर्चुअल मशीन ने कोड रन कर दिया। और इंटरप्रिटेटर जो है, उसके अंदर, मतलब उसके अंदर का प्रोसेस है इंटरप्रिटेटर, मैं बोल सकता हूँ पेरेंट है, उसके अंदर उसका चाइल्ड है कंपाइलर, उसका काम है बाइट कोड को एग्जीक्यूट करना, उसके अंदर आता है वर्चुअल मशीन, जिसका काम है कोड को रन करना। तो अब तक आपको समझ आया क्या मैंने जो कुछ भी बताया?
Yes.
क्या, what you must do to it? Could you please brief? Could you please brief
Sorry,
me the
sorry.
concept that you had drawn? Yeah, please. हाँ हाँ, क्या समझ आया आपको अब तक? आपने बोला यस, तो क्या समझ, जो भी
Oh,
समझते हो।
okay.
डोंट वरी, आपको जो समझ आया। गलत बोलोगे ना, क्या होगा, गलत बोल दोगे तो क्या होगा भाई, नेक्स्ट टाइम
So,
सीख लेंगे। आप बताओ, आपको जो भी समझ आया, कोई दिक्कत।
so there's two type of language, compiled and interpreted.
गुड,
And right now we're studying the interpreted language, right?
दैट्स
Python.
ग्रेट, ग्रेट।
Yeah, and so in this language, the process is like um, from the source code, it goes to the compiler and then to bytecode and goes to virtual machine, and
दैट्स
after that
ग्रेट,
it
दैट्स
runs.
ग्रेट,
Yeah.
दैट्स ग्रेट। Let's wait. Just wait for a second. I think I have explained how code work, what is interpreter, compiler. Don't worry if you have not drawn the concept. Like if you have not drawn all the concepts. I mean to say 100%. Don't worry if you understood 50%. That's more than enough to ace up in exam. And I मतलब मैं आपको बहुत ऑनेस्टली बोलूंगा, आई डू लाइक टू speak out and give out my word very straightforwardly. The point is, all these important concepts are not covered in the lecture of your college, so that might
Yeah.
be difficult for a student to get through. All these important concepts are repeated in like in your diploma subject Java, where a student got stuck. But I have explained.
Okay.
These are not explained in your lectures. These are the, matlab, I mean to say, add up by myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Thereafter, Thereafter, I think this meeting is about to end within 10 minutes. Don't worry, I'm gonna send another link. I'm gonna handle this class for at least 1 hour. So rejoin by using that link. But till yet we have 10 minutes, so I think we have to use it wisely. Thereafter, our another lecture, like lecture 3, Introduction to Variables. Yeah?
Yeah.
Introduction to Variables. Python variable. Python variables and literal. What is variables and what is variable literals? Let me explain. Like, have you ever, मतलब मेरे कहने का मतलब, आपने कभी कोई बॉक्स देखा है क्या? Have you ever seen a box where you contain your daily use stuff in that, and then close that and place at a certain place of your house at certain corner, and whenever you wanna use them, you like get that box reopened, or I can say break into that box and use very often. So over here, what is Python variables? तो Python variables, variable एक बॉक्स है, ऐसा समझो, variable is just like a box जिसमें आप डेटा डालते हो। देखो मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ आपको वेरिएबल्स क्या होते हैं। तो ये पाइथन वेरिएबल्स, आप लिखते हो वेरिएबल का नाम, ए बी सी डी कुछ भी, लिटरली कुछ भी, इसके भी कुछ रूल्स होते हैं, जैसे रूल्स ये सारी देर के मैं आपको बताऊंगा, बट आप ये समझो, वेरिएबल्स के नेम होते हैं और उसमें आप वैल्यू डालते हो। नंबर है, ये कुछ भी डालो, फ्लोट डालो, कुछ भी डाल सकते हो आप इसके अंदर, तो यही होता है वेरिएबल नेम। अब ये ए जो है आपका ओवर हियर, जैसे this A is acting like a box, acting like a box where you have put your values. Value might be of any data types like A regarding it may be integer, a string, float, anything. Boolean. Over here, A is a box where you put your values in a box. That's all. That's all about a variable. It's a box where you put your values. And after you do use them whenever you want to use in your code. Uh, yeah, but there is something important concept over here behind its working. This is a box, that's all. But the point is like आप जब आपके पास बॉक्स होता है, आप बॉक्स में डालते हो, बॉक्स में जगह होती है तो डालते हो, आप फिर बॉक्स को कहीं रखते हो किसी लोकेशन पे, जनरली डेली लाइफ में। यहाँ भी वैसा ही होता है बिल्कुल। पाइथन पाइथन इज लिटरली वेरी एसोसिएटेड विथ योर डेली लाइफ। You may feel this is your companion to your daily life. So Python is literally very interesting. Over here, as I have said, A is a box. Yeah, A is a box. That's all. Where you store your values. But where you gonna store this box? Where your values gonna store in a box? These are the most important point that we out to discover. Yeah, that we have to break through. Over here, there is a box A, and if you assign a variable, if you assign any value like 10, 12, anything, तो क्या होगा कि जैसे वेरिएबल देखो, वेरिएबल नेम ए इज गिवन, आपने उसे एक नाम दे दिया, उस नेम का यूज करके उस बॉक्स को आप यूज कर सकते हो, फिर आपने उसे एक वैल्यू दे दी, और जब ये वैल्यू बॉक्स उस बॉक्स में गई ना, उसके अंदर एक मेमोरी लोकेशन होगा। There is a memory location associated with that box where you have stored your values, so that you can next time drop your values by using that memory location. So the simple concept is variable is a box where you put your values, and in box there is a memory location where your values actually out to be the out to be. Yeah, but there are certain rules to write a variable, and these rules are, there is certain rule to declare variable in Python, and these rules are variable only contain alphabets, number, and underscore. You cannot you cannot mention like a hashtag, a star as a variable name. No, you can't. You only use alphabet. Like over here, A is alphabet. You may use your name as a variable, number, and underscore. Thereafter, variable names must start with letter or underscore. Like over here, letter. If you don't want to use the letter at very beginning, you may use underscore, like underscore a. Variable names cannot start with numbers. Yeah, this is the actually warning that you can't use number at very starting, at the starting of the name of variable. Variables are case sensitive. What is this case sensitive? Case sensitive means over here that if you give variable name capital A, and if you gave another variable, if you have created another variable, उसका आपने नाम दिया स्मॉल a, तो ये कैपिटल ए स्मॉल ए दोनों एक दूसरे से फार डिफरेंट है, दोनों का अलग मेमोरी लोकेशन होगा, दोनों अलग वैल्यू को रख सकता है, तो यही हुआ केस सेंसिटिव। केस सेंसिटिव होने का मतलब उसमें कैपिटल का यूज करके जो बनाया जाएगा, कैपिटल वर्ड का यूज करके और स्मॉल वर्ड का यूज करके, दोनों अलग अलग होगा, तो दैट्स केस सेंसिटिव।
Sorry, I didn't understand the case sensitive properly.
दैट्स ग्रेट, दैट्स ग्रेट। have you understood what is a variable in Python?
Y- Yes.
That's great. Over here, like let me comment all this code. Yeah. Look, I have commented all the code. Now, if I do run, we don't get any output because we have commented all the code. These codes are ignored by the, I can say, compiler, interpreter innocence. तो अभी एक वेरिएबल है, आपने एक वेरिएबल लिया, वेरिएबल का मैं क्या नाम दूं? कुछ भी नाम दे सकते हो। मैंने बोल दिया भाई लेक्चर, कुछ भी बोला, कुछ भी नाम दे सकते हो। हाँ, आप कोई भी नाम यूज कर सकते हो। आप क्या यूज नहीं कर सकते, तो जो रिजर्व कीवर्ड है, जैसे कि रिजर्व कीवर्ड का मतलब, लेट मी elucidate for you. So, what is reserved keyword? Like this print keyword. This is the reserved. This is reserved by the Python. Only Python can use this. So, if you wanna give print name to any variable, this might gonna throw error over here. Let's see, expected expression, right? So this one of throw error. The error. There are many reserved keyword that I'm gonna cover. Not for now, but for sure in upcoming lectures. So lecture was your lecture is the name of your output. I mean variable. All right. Like I have assigned Python. Python is my lecture. Now this is box, a box whose name is lecture, and in that box you have stored a value whose you may call Python. Yeah, this is a type of string. And what is a string? I'm gonna explain in upcoming lecture. So you have put this string into this box. Yeah? This box have memory location of this where you may access. Like if I wanna print this lecture, you have to write print a small parenthesis variable name. If I'm gonna run this, yeah, why I got the thing that it stored. If I do changes over here, if I do make changes over here, like Python is a great language. Now, if I run Python is a great language. Yeah. Python is print is a method that execute anything that you want to print, and lecture is a box where you have stored these values or a variable. I think you understood.
Yes, yes. But what if, like in the lecture, the in line 14, if we write lecture equals to Python is a great language without the string, the apostrophe thing, it doesn't
Yeah,
print?
wait. If you remove a string, if you remove the single quote or double quote, yeah, this might throw error. But because single quote or double quote used to declare that this is a string, but if you don't want to use a string, generally and you to define alphabets like Python string, these might you may face issue over here. But yeah, you may use numbers. Yeah, there is not any issue like 89, but that's all. If you gonna
So when
use
we,
alphabets, you must have to impound them with quotes, single quote, double quote,
uh,
anything. For now, meeting is about to end. I'm gonna share another link, so join fast. Please join them.
okay, right now?
Yeah, right now, right now.
Okay, sure.
The rule number one: variable is only contain alphabets, numbers, underscores. तो वेरिएबल क्या क्या कंटेन कर सकता है? अल्फाबेट, जो कि लेक्चर में सारे अल्फाबेट है, मैं सिर्फ एल दे देता हूँ फॉर नाउ। इसको मैं कमेंट कर देता हूँ, ठीक है। अरे यार, लैम्डा नहीं थी, एल ई सी मैंने दे दिया। लेक्चर आ सकता है, और क्या मतलब अल्फाबेट आ सकता है, नंबर आ सकता है, अंडर स्कोर आ सकता है। मैंने अंडर स्कोर दे दिया, अब मैं नंबर दे देता हूँ। तो ये एक वेरिएबल का, दिस इज द वैलिड नेम ऑफ अ वेरिएबल। Rule number one, what if we include special characters like percentage, like a star, like, and we gonna fail very badly. We do face error over here, as we have used the special character even after warning, so we be in for trouble for now. Yeah. तो आप अल्फाबेट्स यूज कर सकते हो, उसके नाम में अंडरस्कोर और ये नंबर्स जो भी, ठीक है। thereafter variables names, variable name must start with a letter or underscore, either later, like if generally, wait, either later, that's good, or underscore, that's okay. All these are valid name of a variable, but what if we start a name of variable with special characters like and? We faced error over here, that you can't start with a special character. Use I mean to say, use either alphabets, or you may use underscore. Over here, we have faced error. Have we started recording? Screen sharing. Yeah, we have started lectures. So, what if we use numbers at very beginning? We gonna face error. Either we use alphabet or underscore. That's idle for us. All right. What rule number three wants to convey us? Let me zoom in. Zoom in. Variable name can not be started with numbers here. As I've explained, if you wanna use numbers, you for sure gonna face error. Variables are case sensitive, yeah, for sure. Like lect lec, and if I do make lec equal to something like this. These all both are this and this both are different. So I think you understood what is case sensitive, what are the rules to declare a variable, to give name to a variable, what do variable actually store. If you give numbers, like if you may store numbers in a variable, or you may also store a string like this. You just have to give a single quote, double quote, anything that you wanna give, and you so. So I have zoom in.
So if we give a variable name, lec lecture and lecture, but both of them in a different, like one of them in small alphabet and the other one in the big alphabet, it's gonna be
Yeah,
different.
both are different. Both are different. Both have different memory location. Both use to store the values at very different memory location. Both are literally very different.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so delete. Wait for a second. You understood intro to variables. Variables. What are variables? What is this input statement? Like, wait for a second. Like, whenever you go, whenever you wanna search anything, you go into a box where you do your queries, what you wanna look into, and thereafter just click on search, and Google gave you the output. You know how that input, I mean to say input box work in Python. There is like there are methods to make input statements. Some of them are, let me explain. Wait for a second. Just wait for a second. Oh, wait for a second. My background are literally very noisy.
My background,
No,
is it?
no.
I think
Yeah.
because
Have
I
you?
live close to the main road, the highway, so a lot of noise from the street.
Hmm. Who? You? Is this you who live beside, I mean to say, a highway?
Yeah, it's close to high, not like exactly highway, but it's like a main road,
Mhm.
main, like it's not like suburb.
Juliet, you have understood what are variables and all. Oh, wait for a second. There is a function that is like, as I've explained, print is a method of Python that execute your code, that execute what you give it into this small parenthesis. It execute that part, and so as your output. Similar to that, we have another method that is known as input. Like just to declare an input, take a variable like we want to take inp, anything uh, that you can, and anything that make you comfortable, you may take as the name of a variable. This is a type of variable where you declared a method like input. That's all, and close it with, I mean to say, a small parenthesis. Thereafter, you might print this. Over here, you may ask, ये है क्या input? What is this input? How it works? ऐसा समझो, इनपुट पहले तो एक मेथड है, पहली बात, जो आपको मतलब ये आपको एक राइट दे देता है, आपको एक ऑथोरिटी दे देता है कि आप कुछ भी एंटर करो, मैं उसको लूंगा अपने अंदर और प्रिंट करूंगा। ऐसा समझ, बस यही है। अब मैं अगर कोड को एग्जीक्यूट करूँ, देखो यहाँ कुछ इनपुट मांगेगा, ये बोल रहा है भाई कुछ दो मेरे अंदर, मैंने दिया 50, मैं एंटर करूंगा तो इसने प्रिंट यहाँ 50 कर दिया। अगर आप ये भी लेना चाहते हो, आई थिंक ये अपने अंदर स्ट्रिंग देते हैं क्या, वेट, नंबर्स, या मैं करता हूँ रन इसे। देखो ये बोल रहा है एंटर नंबर्स, आप नंबर एंटर करो, इसके अंदर कुछ भी कर सकते हो, बट फिलहाल के लिए नंबर मांग रहा है तो नंबर के साथ ही हम चलते हैं। मैंने बोला 90। अब जो, वेट, थोड़ा मैं स्पेस दे देता हूँ। अब मैंने इसे बोला 90, अब मैंने जो इसे 90 दिया, दैट वी हैव इंटर्ड राइट नाउ, लाइक इन गूगल बॉक्स यू डू इंटर योर क्वेरीज एंड गूगल execute similar and this input method and that you have look into Google query box are literally very akin to like both are literally very akin to itself. Yeah. As you have entered 90, if you do enter, this variable gonna store the value that you have entered over here. Like you entered input 90, this print execute and gave 90 as output. दिस इज इनपुट एंड एक चीज और, प्रिंट के सब्जेक्ट में मैंने आपको बोला था यहाँ कुछ भी आप प्रिंट कर सकते हो, फिर वो स्ट्रिंग मतलब जो भी कोट से ऐसे हो या फिर नंबर हो, कुछ भी हो, कुछ भी कर सकते हो। इतना ही नहीं, अगर आपको कई सारी चीजें करनी है, जैसे आपको एक स्ट्रिंग करना है, एक नंबर करना है, बेटा एक नंबर करना है, एक और नंबर करना है, तो बस आप ये कॉमा यूज करो और फिर उसे डालते जाओ तो वो प्रिंट कर देगा आपको। दैट्स नॉट अ बिग डील। ओह भाई, तो ठीक है, ठीक है। तो आपने प्रिंट में करा इसे, आपने बोला जो भी आउटपुट आएगी भाई उसे प्रिंट कर दे, ठीक है, तो थोड़ा स्पेस भी दे दिए। फिर से इनपुट लेता हूँ, आपने इसको बोला 89। आप जैसे ही 89 एंटर करोगे, मैंने 89 यहाँ डाला, एंटर करा, तो वो इस इनपुट में चला आएगा और यहाँ पे मैं इसको प्रिंट करवा लेता हूँ। by the way, मैं करता हूँ, वेट, मैं फिर से रन करता हूँ। मैंने डाला 78, हाँ, दिस इनपुट, और जो 78 था आपका वो यहाँ चला आया। दिस इज इनपुट मैंने यहाँ स्ट्रिंग के तौर पे लिख रखा, फिर कोमा लगाया, दूसरी वैल्यू मैंने यूज करी जो इनपुट में। इनपुट सीधी सी बात है भाई कि वो जो आप देते हो ना टाइप करके, वो जो वैल्यू होती है वो एक वेरिएबल में जाके वो भी स्टोर होती है, और उस वेरिएबल का नाम मैंने INP दे रखा है। आप कुछ भी दे दो, मतलब नॉट अ बिग डील, नाम से कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता। बस यही है कि इनपुट मेथड इनपुट लेती है और आपको देती है, इसके अंदर आप जो भी लिखोगे तो वो यहाँ नजर आएगा, जिस किसी से भी आप इनपुट ले रहे हो उससे। तो आप ये समझ गए क्या ये इनपुट होती क्या है, एटसेट्रा दैट आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड टिल इट। हेलो।
Yes, yes.
Alright. You understood input statement like this. You may take input of number like anything. Uh, Thereafter, variables and literals. This is nothing but like this is variables and that the value that you have stored. Like over here, I am storing the value of input. Like if you stored any number, this is the variable literal. All right, the value is known as variable literal, the standard name by the Python and programmers do often use. This is the value name, or you may say variable literals, and these are the actually variables that you use. All right, and
Okay.
variable literals. What is data type? What is data type one? Data type two? All right. I think for today, uh, all these concepts are pretty enough. Let me wait for a second. Just wait for a second. You. And thereafter, what if I say a equal to a plus 1? What do you think? What will this a print and what will this a print?
And the print A, the first print A will print 22, line 22, 10, and then the
Hmm.
second print will print out line 22 plus 1. That would be 11.
Yeah. The simple meaning over here that if you print it, that's 10, and after what you did, you gonna store another thing in 10, like 10 equal to a plus 1. What was the a uh, prior to be like add on 1, like it was 10 and thereafter you added 1. तो भाई आपने यहाँ किया add 1, जब add 1 किया आपने तो 10 plus 1 हो गया 11. And what
Mm.
if we do repeat these operations? It is very simple that we're gonna got 10, 11, and 12. Yeah. And
Yeah.
thereafter there is another thing like till yet you know what each input, what actually input work. But for now, like, just wait for a second. Over here, like this is the input statement that we take generally, and I'm gonna enter 5. All right, it's 5. Suppose, what if I take input 1, array, input 1, input 2, input 1, input 2, and we wanna add them like in input 1, input 2. What do you think? What out to be output? Like I have entered 1, then I have entered, sorry, I have entered 5. Thereafter again, I have entered 5. We did add them by plus operator. We did add them. Uh, these operand like input 1, input 2, the things, the value that we have entered right now, like input 1, input 2. But what is actually over here happened that it became 5555. How it out to be?
We
I
have
don't
to
think
make it
you have
integer.
it. Yeah.
We have to make it integer.
Yeah, we must how to make it integer because by default input took that value as a string. So we think we need to take we need to make them integer. To make them integer, we have like several constructors that we call them constructor like int. Uh, I mean to say a small parenthesis, and thereafter anything that we wrap inside this become integer. Similarly, we have to do typecasting. This is known as typecasting, like converting one type to another by using this constructor, basically known as typecasting. And thereafter, for Boolean, we do use bool, PWL, not POL. PWL. Thereafter, we do PU, yeah, we do as well use float to convert them into float. So over here, I think we have to use int, like, wait, just copy paste them. Look, over here, it shows 0 y. According to, I mean, so interpreter here, input 1 is, I mean, to say integer, but input 2 is a string. It wanna convey us that you can't add input, I mean to say you can't add integer and a string because both are very different data types, so you can't add. You can add integer plus integer or a string plus a string, but you can't add integer and a string as both are from, I mean to say different data types. All right. Like if we enter 5, if we enter 5, then we're gonna got 10. So I think you have understood what I want to convey regarding this.
Yes.
As we have covered all these lectures prior over years, that you have better idea that what output to be and what is and what not. Oh, by the way, what if we wanna take, wait for a second, like it is okay, by default it is a string. What do we do? Make them a string, str, str. Uh, we don't think we have to add a string. Addition of a string is basically known as concatenation. For now, let us we do enter t e. It's like t e. There is like I mean to say print is a method, input is a method. There is another method to check the types. It's simply known as type. If you type covered them with a small parenthesis and again like input 1, thereafter,
Yes.
right? It gonna actually show you what type of data you held in your variables, like t e. Both are string like class str, class str. So these are the things that I have expanded. Thereafter, I think thereafter we just wait for a second. I think we have left float. Float is another data type. 4, 5. It also has float, but you know what is the difference between integer and float? How you wanna identify that this is the integer and another one is float? What are the conventions that they both follow, and what is the difference of them? Could you please explain?
So integer is like there's no decimal point in integer,
That's all. That's all. That's all.
and yeah.
That's all. So like this, we also change them into integer, like over here. Yeah. And what about Boolean? What do you know about Boolean?
Boolean data types are true or false.
All right. What is one? One is like true or false.
One,
Wait, look, I'm gonna take input one. Yeah. Wait, wait. No, we can't. Let's stop. Think. Now it's good. Look, what we did. First, we took input that by default is string. Then thereafter we have covered them in int. I mean to say integer. Thereafter we gonna
yeah.
check what is the type of integer by the boolean. Yeah. Oh, like we need to rerun this. Like if we have entered one at first, thereafter we entered zero. The output are true, true. I mean to say the output are true, true. Yeah. Wait for this.
How is it true? True.
Wait. Explain how is it true, true. Look, this is boolean. Yeah. If you do enter one and do print them, it's gonna give true. Just look what is happening over here. If you entered -1, if you entered, I mean to say 0, if you entered 00, for God's sake. Look,
False.
just wait. What is 1? 1 is true. What is -1? It is true. What is 0? It is false. What is 00, 000? As many as feasible to you can, I mean to say, do experiment with them. As you have asked, why it is showing true. By default, the convention that not only Python, other programming language also to follow. One, they convert the zero, I mean to say zero as falsy values. Yeah, falsy. Wait for a second. They consider zero as false. Yeah, and anything that is not zero, it might be one, -1, like anything. They, I mean to say, they took them as true, like one, -1, anything. I think you understood. If there is zero, it means false. If we do change them into Boolean, zero means nothing present over here. It's negative sense. So we can say that's false. If one, that's true because there over there is present of something at least one. If it is -1, it doesn't matter. It's gonna give you true. But what if we gonna pass a string, empty string? And what if we gonna pass a string that contains something like randomly typed? First clear our history. Look, web-based error. Look, over here there is indentation issue. Like we don't need to give any spaces.
Okay. Yeah.
Thereafter, we have true, for sure as well as previously. True, false. What is this? This is false because there is, I mean to say, empty string. There is single quote. That's so, yeah, there ought to be a string, but there is an empty string. In negative sense, we can say it don't convey us any value, so it is false. But over there is a string, and a string contains something. There is no absence of value. There is present of value. So that's true. But what if we gonna give one blank spaces to this empty string? Wait, look over here. Let I think we'll comment this. Over here we have an empty string. It doesn't contain anything, even not I mean to say blank spaces like uh, this have. Thereafter we have a string that has something. Let us run these like false over here, like it doesn't contain anything, but it contain a blank spaces. So there is presence of value. Doesn't matter. It might be like, I mean to say a special character, blank spaces. It doesn't matter. They are out to be present. If value is present, it means to say that is a truthy values. If values are not present, that we mean to say that those are falsy values. So we do not consider the falsy values over here. It is the falsy value, so it gives us false. Over here, it is the presence. 0 give us false, 1 minus 1 give us present. I think you understood what I am striving to convey you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
What you understood, would you please elucidate?
So with the Boolean data type, if there is number one or any other number except zero, it will return true. And if it's zero, it will return false. And
Yeah.
if there is string, then it will also return true.
Mhm.
And if there is space with no words, like string with no words, no letter, it will still return true. But if there is no word letter, it's empty, then it will return false.
All right. To answer all these, what out to be output of, what, just for a second, hold on. What out to be output of all these? I mean to say, what this out to be according to you, what will be the output that line number 52, I mean to say print type I give, what be the output thereafter, like
Okay.
till line number 56. Like if we do run this gonna give us class int, class float, a string, as India is a string, true, false. So that's all. You know, whenever you do create a string within a variable like a, you have created a string like something, 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 something. Yeah. You may bound them with single line or I mean to say single quote or double quote. Like over here, we also use if we want to use we can use like double quotes or single quotes too. Yeah, and
Mhm.
there is all both are almost same. There is not any difference between them. But what if we need to use? We have to create a string that come in multiple line. Yeah, like all these line are covered. Let's wait for a second. I want to repeat all these like this, like this. For that, we need to use triple quotes, triple double quotes or triple single quotes. It is saying, I mean to say the line is too long. Huh? Like
Yeah.
it covered 227 characters, and this is allowed only till 88. I mean to say. So why it is showing error? For to fix this, we need to use triple double quote or triple single quote like this. Over here, I have used triple double quote. I have bounded with them triple double quote. So this is the
So if
way
it's
you can write. Yeah,
so if the letters is more than 87, then we have to put like three times, is it?
we have to put like this. Yeah. This is the convention that usually Python follow to detect what is the multiple line string and which is a single line string by this. If you do use only single quotes, don't worry, it doesn't matter it is double or triple. If you use only one set left and one set right to impound them, it is the Python to convey itself that yeah, this is the I mean to say a string of single line. And if you do use thrice at both I mean to say both sides like right, left, both, it Python convey its compiler, yeah, this is the I mean to say a string of multiple lines. So that's all. A string are something like a string is you can convey so the string is a I mean to say sequence that is bounded by that is we mean to say surrounded by the single or double quotes. So that's all. Wait for a second. What if but suppose array wait. Don't worry, I have typed something randomly. You know, just imagine we have used single quote. What if we use another single quote like we do use to face to convey the meaning sometimes, yeah. Or we use like don't, I mean to say not like this. Don't do this. Don't do this again. Over here we have faced error. Like if we do print mean to say our compiler gonna give us error, like error over here. Why this happened? Look, you have used single quote despite surrounded your actual string with single quote. Like you have surrounded this with single quote too. So our compiler become confused from where our string is started, where it actually wind up. Like over here, it is started from here, but where to wind up? Over here, I mean to say like this or like this. So if you have to give, I mean to say quotes inside a string, if you have to give quotes inside a string, you may use the method of altercation. Altercation, what is altercation? If you have used single quote to surround them, you might use, I mean to say, double quotes inside it. Then it won't gonna give you any error over here. Like now, that's all fine. And if you have, I have said alter, do alter, use alter, just change them. If you have used double quotes to surround them, then you have to use single quotes if you are using inside a string. Like now, if we use single quotes and surrounding them with double quotes, we don't gonna get any error over here.
Okay.
So that's all. Have you understood what I have illustrated yet?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I've explained you what is, I mean to say, just wait over here. Oof. What is low level language, what is dynamic versus static typing language. I think I have explained yesterday. And you do just read these ones, and if you do any error, if I mean so if you do face any difficulties regarding them, you might ask me. Like what are low level, high level languages? They over here it I mean to say explain what are the actual different machine languages, assembly languages. These are not very important for your course, but as a Python developer, you have to know these stuff. What is dynamic type language and what is static dynamic type languages? Those type can change. Like Python usually use the way we are coding currently, the convention we do follow it is a dynamic type language where like this, where you use, where you can alter their type. Like over here, look, a store a string. But if we do a to store an integer, it may store and thereafter it gonna give you integer in output if you do print them 39. So over here, this is the dynamic typing. Over here, the type of data that a variable stored was a string. Over here, we can change them and it became, I mean to say, an integer. Thereafter, we can also alter this and make them like 89 point something to float. So these are dynamic typing languages where you can change their type. What is static typing in Python? Static typing. In static typing, you have to define their types. Like if we define its type STRA like two. I mean to say that A is storing a string. Then thereafter we cannot store like these like numbers, integers, float. A can only and only to be used to store a string if we do wanna use them again. So over here, this is if you have defined the type prior the variable that fall into, I mean to say that fall into then a static type. A static means something that is constant, something that is fixed. Dynamic means something that can be viable, that can be vacillating. So over here